I want cheese and bread and oatmeal and broccoli and those yummy cherries if they're ripe and a honeydew melon and ice cream and a carton of—
Can't you just write me a list? If you want to save a collection of similar information, like all the foods that you want to buy at the store, in one variable, how would you do it? If you think about it, we've only learned how to store one element in each variable. All our variable names have been singular, like num or name, but today I'm going to teach you how you can store multiple things in one variable. Remember how we learned that there's different data types like strings and booleans? Well, it turns out that there's also different data structures, which means different ways to collect together related information. For instance, there's ones called a dictionary, a tuple, and a list in Python. We'll cover all of those, but for today, we're going to learn what a list is. To write a list, you simply start with an opening square bracket and end with a closing square bracket. Inside, each element is separated with a comma. So we could have nums equals 1, 2, 4, 6, 100, or we could have names equals Mary, Phil, Ted. There's a lot that you can do with lists, and you'll learn more and more as you go along in these videos. But for now, let's learn how we can print the very first element in the list. So we'll write print, and then inside we'll say the name of the list, and then in square brackets, the index of the item we want to print. So the indices start at 0, and they go until the end of the list. So the very first item is always at index 0. And that's a little confusing because you might think it would start at 1, but in fact in almost all of computer science we start at 0 for indices. If we wanted the last item in this list, we would write names and then in brackets 2, because the last item is the third item, but if we started at item 0, the last item would be item 2. If you don't know how long your list is, but you want the last item in it, you can actually write -1, and that will give you the very last item in a list. If you write names and then in brackets 3, you'll get a classic Python error, list index out of range. It's not a fun error, so try to avoid it. It's also important to note that items of different data types can actually be stored in the same Python list. Okay, that is enough for today. I gotta go shopping.
And I want star fruit and a cake and tofu and